The topic we choose for this STA104 assignment is smoking addiction among students Uitm Segamat. We choose this topic because we want to know what percentage of students at Uitm are smokers and non-smokers. Smoking is indeed not unfamiliar to teenagers at this time because, as we can see, the average student smokes cigarettes anywhere. We also conducted a study to find out what type of tobacco is used by students such as cigarettes, vapes, pots, and so on. In addition, we also conducted a questionnaire to find out how much cost to buy them. The cost of them starting to smoke and becoming addicted is also one of the points used by us in the questionnaire to find out the specific cost for each student.
Sampling is a technique of selecting individual members or a subset of the population to make statistical inferences and estimate the characteristics of the whole population. Sampling techniques are essential tools that enable researchers to derive significant results from a portion of a larger population. During our research, we use simple random sampling technique to obtain results from the large population in Uitm Segamat. By doing this sampling technique, every pupil have the same chance of being selected. As a result, 90 students from Uitm Segamat have been selected as a sample group for our research. All 90 students selected are from banking, accounting, and computer science students. They are from Part 1 to Part 5 students. Data collection methods are techniques and procedures used to gather information for research purpose. Data was collected to assist in the calculation of the research. The reason for collecting data are to satisfy curiosity and measure performance. For this study, we use primary data for this research since a lot of advantages can be obtained by using primary data compared to secondary data. Some advantages of providing primary data are the data obtained directly from the main source and the data are real-time data. So, I can conclude that the data is more accurate, reliable, and up-to-date. Besides, we use online questionnaire to collect data from our respondents who are students from Uitm Segamat. All respondents are required to fill in the form given to them by the link that we have provided. We use Google Forms as a medium to collect all data that has been filled in by our respondents. Next, we provide to our respondents with two types of questions, which are qualitative and quantitative types of questions. The difference is quantitative questions involve number, while qualitative not involve any number. Then, after we have collected all data from our respondent, we proceed to the data analysis part where we create multiple charts.
The diagram shows that the most of the Uitm Segamat students that answer this online survey about smoking factors among students in Uitm Segamat are male. This is because 54.4% of male from the respondents for this survey and the total of female as respondents is 41. Meanwhile, the female only has 45.6%, which is only 41 respondents. This figure shows that the male has higher respondents for this online survey than the female. In conclusion, it shows the male could likely make their time to answer this online survey. Figure shows the students' experience of smoking. Based on the pie chart, 74% of the students, which is 67 students, don't have experience of smoking. Meanwhile, 80% of the students, which is 16 students, have experience of smoking. The rest of the students may have experience of smoking.
The bar chart shows that the number of students are smoking cigarettes are 11%, which is 10 people. Secondly, 60% smoke with electronic cigarettes, vape or pot, which is 14 people. Meanwhile, Another 73% from the total respondents are not smoking, which is 66 people. This figure means otherwise than the non-smoker. Most of them are smoking electronic cigarettes, which is kind of a trend for students. The pie chart shows that the number of factors that influence students to start smoking. Based on the pie chart, 6% of the factor is peer pressure, which is 5 people. Second, 1% cause of tire, which is 1 people. Third, 8% cause of anxiety or depression, which is 7 people. Fourth, 8% because of curious, which is 7 people. Fifth, 4% of the chart because of financial pressure or stress, which is 4 people. And lastly, 73% of the chart is not smoking, which is 66 people. This concludes that there are many factors that influence students to start smoking, and mostly because of anxiety and curious to try to smoke.
Based on the histogram, there is one student that is 17 years old or less than that. Next, there are 82 students that are in the range of 18 to 20 years old. Then there are 5 students that are in the range of 21 to 23 years old. Lastly, there is one student that is in the range of 34 to 36 years old and 27 and above that involved in this online survey. Based on the frequency polygon, there are 69 students that are not smoking. Next, there are 9 students that are smoking once a day. Then there are 7 students that are smoking in the range of 2 to 3 times per day, and 3 students that are smoking in the range 4 to 5 times per day. Lastly, there are 2 students that are smoking more than 5 times a day.
Based on the frequency polygon, 17 of the students spend 0 ringgit on smoking. Meanwhile, there is 19 students that spend between 1 ringgit to 50 ringgit. And lastly, there is 1 student who spend on smoking more than 50 ringgit. This chart means that most of the students don't spend on smoking on their daily basis.
As a conclusion, after we conducted our study of smoking addiction among Uitm Segamat students, we found that students at this university were not smokers. The study found that students who smoke more choose electronic cigarettes such as vape or pod, and they spend costs from Rm 1 ringgit to Rm 50 ringgit. Then, this survey also found that students who smoke only once a day. The factor that encourages them to smoke is anxiety or depression, and also curious based on respondent analysis conducted.